The quiet beeping of the Deep Space Monitoring Station broke the silence of the night shift. Officer Tom Wilson rubbed his tired eyes and leaned forward in his chair, squinting at the unusual readings on his screen. The energy signatures coming from the edge of the Kuiper Belt didn't match anything in Earth's database. "Hey Mike, come take a look at this," Tom called out to his colleague. "I'm seeing something weird out past Neptune." Mike walked over, coffee cup in hand, and studied the readings. "Those patterns, they're too regular to be natural. Run it through the analysis software again." As the computer processed the data, more alerts started popping up on their screens. The energy signatures were growing stronger, and now they were picking up what appeared to be communication signals, faint but definitely artificial. Within hours, the United Space Command's headquarters in Geneva was buzzing with activity. Admiral Jane Roberts stood before a wall of screens, watching as more data poured in from monitoring stations around the world. The mysterious signals were now being detected by every major space telescope and monitoring facility on Earth. "What's the latest analysis?" she asked, turning to the room full of scientists and military personnel. Dr. Harris, the lead scientist, stepped forward with his tablet. "The signals follow a clear mathematical pattern, Admiral. They're definitely artificial, and based on the energy readings, we're looking at something big. Really big. Our estimates suggest a fleet of at least 300 spacecraft." The room fell silent. Humanity had yet to make first contact with alien life, and now they were detecting hundreds of ships at the edge of their solar system. "Are they moving toward Earth?" the Admiral asked, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "No, Mom. They appear to be stationary." And Dr. Harris paused, double-checking his data. "We believe they're sending out distress signals." Admiral Roberts didn't hesitate. "Get me Captain James Miller. If these really are aliens in distress, we're going to need our best first contact specialist." Captain Miller arrived at headquarters within 2 hours. He was a tall man with graying hair and calm blue eyes that had seen humanity's first steps into deep space. As Earth's leading expert in theoretical alien communication, he had spent his career preparing for this moment. "The signals follow basic mathematical sequences," he explained to the Emergency Council. "They're using prime numbers and universal constants, the kind of patterns any advanced civilization would recognize. But there's more." He brought up a holographic display showing the signal patterns. "These aren't just random mathematical sequences. They're describing technical problems, specifically drive system failures." "How can you be sure?" someone asked from the council. "The patterns match our theoretical models for quantum drive systems. They're showing cascading failures across multiple ships. Whatever these beings are, they're stranded." Admiral Roberts stood up. "Then we have a decision to make. These beings, whoever they are, have appeared in our solar system asking for help. What do we do?" The council chamber erupted in debate. Some argue for caution, others for immediate action. Captain Miller waited patiently until the room quieted, then spoke. "Throughout human history, we've had an unwritten rule of the sea. When someone sends a distress signal, we help. It doesn't matter who they are or where they're from. I suggest we extend that same courtesy to the stars." His words carried weight. Within hours, Earth's most advanced rescue and repair ships were being prepared for launch. Captain Miller would lead the mission, accompanied by Earth's best engineers and first contact specialists. As he watched the rescue fleet being prepared from the observation deck of the Geneva spaceport, Miller couldn't help but smile. Humanity's first contact with alien life wouldn't be through war or formal diplomatic channels, but through a rescue mission. Perhaps that was the best way to meet new friends among the stars, by lending a helping hand. Little did they know, this simple act of compassion would change the course of human history forever. The human rescue fleet approached the stranded alien ships slowly and carefully. Through the main viewport of the lead ship Hope, Captain Miller watched as the massive alien vessels came into view. They were beautiful in a strange way. Their hulls looked like flowing silver water frozen in space, with soft blue lights pulsing along their sides. All ships maintain distance at 5,000 kilometers, Miller ordered. Let's not startle our new friends. The alien fleet was enormous. Hundreds of ships of different sizes floated in the darkness, some as large as small cities. Many of them were dark, running on minimal power. The sight made Miller's heart heavy. These people, whoever they were, needed help badly. "Sir," called out Lieutenant Lisa Brown from the communications station, "we're receiving new signals from their lead ship." The main screen lit up with patterns of light and mathematical symbols. Miller studied them carefully. "They're using the same basic math we saw before, but there's something new here." He pointed to a repeating sequence. "This looks like, yes, they're trying to establish a numbering system, a foundation for communication." For the next 6 hours, the human crew worked to build a basic language bridge. They traded mathematical concepts back and forth with the aliens, slowly building up to more complex ideas. Miller was amazed at how quickly both sides were learning. "Send them the universal greeting sequence we prepared," Miller ordered. On screen, a series of mathematical and scientific constants flowed out, followed by simple pictograms showing peaceful intentions. The response came quickly. The alien ship sent back similar images, along with something new, a visual representation of their fleet's condition. The pictures clearly showed failing drive systems and depleting resources. "They're not just showing us their problems," Dr. Walker, the chief engineer, said excitedly. "They're inviting us to help. Look at these schematics they're sending." Miller made a decision. "Signal them that we're sending over a small team. 3 shuttles, engineering crews only. Let's show them we're here to help." The first meeting happened in the massive docking bay of the alien flagship. Miller led the human team, wearing their best environment suits just in case. The airlock cycled, and they stepped through to meet their first aliens. The beings that waited for them were tall and elegant, with 4 arms and smooth pale blue skin that seemed to shimmer. They wore simple but beautiful clothing that looked like flowing metal. One of them stepped forward, raising all 4 hands in what was clearly a peaceful gesture. "Hello," Miller said, even though he knew they couldn't understand the word. He repeated the mathematical greeting sequence they had practiced. The lead alien's face changed color slightly, possibly their version of a smile. They responded with the same sequence, then gestured to their ship's systems. What followed was one of the strangest engineering inspections in human history. The alien engineers led the human team through their ship, showing them the damaged drive systems. Despite the language barrier, the 2 groups of engineers quickly found ways to communicate through diagrams, hand gestures, and mathematical formulas written on tablets. "This is amazing," Dr. Walker whispered to Miller. "Their technology is incredibly advanced, but the basic principles are similar to our quantum drive experiments. We can help them, Captain. We really can help them." The aliens seemed surprised by the human engineers' quick understanding of their systems. They watched with what looked like amazement as Dr. Walker drew up basic repair plans using nothing but a simple tablet computer. As the first day of contact drew to a close, the lead alien surprised everyone by reaching out and gently touching Miller's environment suit where his shoulder would be. The gesture was somehow both formal and friendly. "I think we just made some friends," Miller said, smiling behind his faceplate. "Send word back to Earth. Tell them we're going to need every engineer and repair ship they can spare. We've got a lot of work ahead of us." The universe, it seemed, had given humanity a chance to prove itself through compassion and ingenuity rather than fear and weapons, and they were determined to make the most of it. 3 days after first contact, the repair efforts were in full swing. The alien ship's quantum drives were far more advanced than anything humans had built, but they were failing due to a problem that Earth's engineers found surprisingly simple. Dr. Walker stood in the engine room of one of the larger alien vessels, holding up a basic thermal scanner. The alien engineer next to him, whom the humans had started calling Blue due to his slightly darker skin tone, watched curiously. "See this?" Walker pointed to the scanner's display. Your quantum containment fields are perfect. Too perfect, actually. They're not allowing for any heat expansion. That's why the drives are failing. Blue tilted his head, his four arms moving in what the humans now recognized as a gesture of confusion. Walker pulled out his tablet and drew a simple diagram showing how the rigid containment fields were causing stress fractures in the drive housing. The solution isn't more advanced technology, Walker explained, knowing that the aliens' translation programs were getting better at understanding English. It's actually something simpler. He pulled out a small device from his toolkit, a basic mechanical pressure release valve, the kind used in Earth's early space programs. Blue's skin rippled with color patches, showing surprise. Sometimes the old ways are the best ways, Walker said with a smile. He demonstrated how the simple valve could prevent the pressure buildup that was damaging their drives. Your technology is amazing, but it's so advanced that it overlooked a basic principle of engineering. Everything needs room to breathe. The news spread quickly through both fleets. The aliens, who called themselves the Wayfarers, were astonished that humans had diagnosed their problem using what they considered primitive tools. More surprising to them was that the solution didn't require advanced quantum engineering, but simple mechanical principles. In the main repair bay, human engineers worked alongside their alien counterparts, teaching them about redundant systems and mechanical backups. The Wayfarers, in turn, shared their knowledge of quantum mechanics and advanced materials. "It's funny," Miller said to the Wayfarer fleet commander during one of their daily meetings. "Your people thought we would be scared of your advanced technology. Instead, we're helping you fix it with tools that we've been using for over a century." The commander, whose name translated roughly to Bright Hope, made the color ripple that humans now knew meant amusement. "Your people see problems differently," the commander replied through the translation device. "Where we seek perfection, you seek practicality. Perhaps both approaches have value." The repair work continued around the clock. Human engineers installed simple pressure release systems throughout the Wayfarer fleet, while also learning about the incredible potential of their quantum drive technology. The cultural exchange was just as valuable as the technical one. One young human engineer was showing a group of Wayfarer children how to make paper airplanes in the recreation area. The alien children were fascinated by the simple toys, especially when the engineer explained the basic principles of aerodynamics using these paper models. "Your species is full of surprises," Blue said to Walker as they watched the impromptu science lesson. "You take simple things and find deep meaning in them. We had forgotten how to do that." The repair project was bringing unexpected benefits to both species. Humans were learning about advanced quantum physics and materials science, while the Wayfarers were rediscovering the value of simple, reliable mechanical systems. By the end of the week, the first repaired ship successfully tested its drive system. The cheers from both human and Wayfarer engineers filled the massive repair bay. It was a moment of triumph not just for engineering, but for cooperation between two very different peoples. As Walker watched the celebration, he couldn't help but smile. Humanity's greatest contribution to their new alien friends wasn't advanced technology or complex solutions. It was the simple reminder that sometimes the best answers are the basic ones, and that true progress comes from combining the best of both worlds. The universe, it seemed, had much to teach both species about the value of different perspectives. Just as the repair work was showing good progress, alarms blared through the Wayfarer fleet. Captain Miller was in a meeting with Earth's command when the emergency signals came through. "Multiple ships are reporting critical failures." Lieutenant Brown's voice came over the comm system. "Their life support systems are shutting down." Miller rushed to the bridge of the Hope, where screens showed red warning indicators across dozens of Wayfarer vessels. The quantum drive failures had triggered a cascade effect, damaging other ship systems. "How many people are at risk?" Miller demanded. 15 ships affected, sir. Each one carries about 3,000 Wayfarers. Their backup systems are failing too." Brown's fingers flew over her console, temperature dropping rapidly in their living areas. "They have maybe 2 hours before." She didn't need to finish the sentence. 45,000 lives were at stake. Dr. Walker's voice cut through the chaos. "Captain, I think I know what's happening. When their quantum drives failed, they tried to reroute power through their secondary systems. But those systems weren't designed for that kind of energy. It's like trying to power a city through a household circuit." "Can we fix it?" Miller asked. "Not with their technology. It's too damaged." Walker paused, then added, "But maybe we don't need to fix it. Maybe we can replace it." "With what?" "Our systems. Earth technology. It's simpler, sure, but it's robust. It works." Walker was already gathering equipment. "We can hook up our emergency power units to their life support. It won't be pretty, but it will work." Miller made his decision quickly. "Do it. Get every emergency power unit we have. Strip our ships if you have to. Just keep those people alive." What followed was the biggest emergency operation in human space history. Repair crews in environment suits rushed between ships, carrying Earth's primitive but reliable power units. The Wayfarer engineers watched in amazement as humans literally cut holes in their beautiful ships to run emergency power cables. Inside one of the failing ships, Walker worked side by side with Blue, connecting Earth's basic nuclear power units to the Wayfarer's life support systems. The temperature had already dropped to near freezing. "This won't be elegant," Walker warned as he stripped wires with a basic tool. "But it will keep your people alive." Blue's skin had turned a pale gray from the cold, but he worked tirelessly alongside Walker. "Sometimes survival is more important than elegance," he replied, showing how much he had learned from the humans. The first power unit came online with a loud hum. Warm air began flowing through the ship again. Throughout the fleet, similar scenes played out as human emergency systems were jury-rigged to alien technology. In the medical bay of another ship, human doctors worked with Wayfarer healers to treat those affected by the cold. The aliens were touched by how the humans used their own body heat to warm up the most severely affected children, not caring about any differences between species. Hour by hour, ship by ship, the crisis was brought under control. The combination of human reliability and Wayfarer technology proved to be surprisingly effective. What started as an emergency solution began to look like a blueprint for something new. "Look at these readings," Walker showed Miller later. "Our power units are actually working better with their systems than we expected. It's like they were made to work together." Miller watched as human and Wayfarer crew members celebrated another successful emergency repair. The crisis had brought both species closer together, proving that they could rely on each other when things got tough. "Maybe that's the lesson here," Miller said. "Their advanced technology and our practical solutions working together, each making up for what the other lacks." As the immediate danger passed, both humans and Wayfarers began to see this crisis as a turning point. It wasn't just about survival anymore. They were creating something new, a combination of two very different approaches to technology and problem solving. The universe, it seemed, had forced them to learn that the best solutions often come from working together. A week after the life support crisis, Earth's shipyards were busier than they had ever been. The massive orbital facilities around Earth and Mars had opened their doors to the Wayfarer fleet, with ships coming in for repairs in groups of 10. Dr. Walker stood in the main control room of the Luna shipyard, looking at the strange sight of alien ships being worked on by human repair crews. Next to him, Blue was studying the blueprints they had developed together. "It's not just a repair anymore," Walker explained to a group of Earth engineers and Wayfarer technicians. "We're creating something entirely new." On the main screen, he showed their design, a hybrid drive system that combined Wayfarer quantum technology with human mechanical engineering. It was elegant yet simple, advanced yet reliable. "The quantum core provides the power," he pointed at the diagram, "while our mechanical systems provide stability and safety. When one system has problems, the other takes over automatically." Blue added, "It's like having two hearts beating as one. Neither is more important than the other. They work together." The Earth's governments had thrown open their resources to help. Ships carried materials from Earth's mines to the shipyards. Factories worked around the clock to produce the needed parts. It was the biggest global cooperation project in human history. In the residential sections of the lunar base, wayfarer families watched Earth hanging in the black sky. Their children played with human kids in the artificial parks, learning each other's games and languages. The crisis had brought both species together in ways no one had expected. "Look at this," Miller said to Commander Bright Hope as they toured a newly repaired ship. "Your quantum drive is now running at 95% efficiency, with our backup systems providing stability. It's better than either of our original systems." The commander's skin rippled with pleased colors. "Your people have taught us much about the value of simplicity. We had forgotten that not everything needs to be perfect to be excellent." In the shipyard's testing area, the first completely upgraded ship prepared for its trial run. Both human and wayfarer crews held their breath as the new hybrid drive system powered up. The ship lifted smoothly from its dock, its engines glowing with a new combination of quantum energy and conventional power. "All readings normal," reported Lieutenant Brown from the control room. "Power flow is stable. Backup systems responding perfectly." The cheer that went up came from both species. Engineers hugged, their differences forgotten in the moment of triumph. Even the usually reserved wayfarers joined in the celebration, their skin flickering with bright, happy colors. The success meant more than just fixing the stranded fleet. It represented a new chapter in space technology. The hybrid systems were more efficient and safer than anything either species had developed alone. "Earth extends an offer," Miller told Commander Bright Hope later that day. "We would like to establish permanent repair facilities for your people, a place where both our species can continue to learn from each other." The commander's response was immediate and positive. "We accept with gratitude. Perhaps we can offer something in return. Teaching positions for our scientists at your universities, sharing what we know about the galaxy." In the shipyard cafeteria, human and wayfarer engineers sat together, sharing meals and ideas. They had moved beyond just solving the immediate crisis. Now they were planning for the future, drawing up designs for new ships that would combine the best of both worlds. Walker found Blue working late one night, studying old Earth engineering books. "Still learning?" he asked. Blue's skin rippled with amusement. "Always. Your history of spaceflight is fascinating. You achieve so much with so little. It makes me wonder what we can achieve together." As the repair project continued, more ships were fitted with the new hybrid systems. Each success brought the two species closer together. What had started as a rescue mission had turned into something much more important, the beginning of a lasting partnership between two very different peoples who had learned they were stronger together than apart. The stars, it seemed, had many more lessons to teach them all. The first Wayfarer Academy opened its doors in Geneva 3 months after the initial rescue. The beautiful building, with its mix of human and alien architecture, stood as a symbol of cooperation between the two species. Dr. Walker walked through the main hall, amazed at how much had changed in such a short time. Wayfarer teachers stood at holographic displays, explaining advanced quantum physics to eager human students. In other rooms, human instructors taught practical engineering and creative problem-solving to fascinated alien learners. "Today's lesson is about improvisation," Walker announced to his mixed class of human and wayfarer engineers. "Something humans have always been good at." He held up a damaged circuit board from a wayfarer ship. "This is an advanced piece of technology, but today we're going to fix it using basic tools and materials you can find anywhere." The wayfarer students watched in amazement as Walker repaired the complex circuit board using simple Earth materials. Their skin flickered with excitement when the repaired unit worked perfectly. "Sometimes the best solution isn't the most advanced one," he explained. "It's the one that works with what you have." In another classroom, Blue was teaching humans about wayfarer space navigation. The holographic display showed star maps more detailed than anything humans had ever seen. "Your species reached the stars using such basic tools," Blue told his students. "Imagine what you can do with this knowledge. But remember, it's not just about the technology. It's about how you think." The exchange of knowledge went far beyond just technology. Humans learned about the vast galaxy the wayfarers had explored. The aliens, in turn, were fascinated by human art, music, and especially human stories. In the Academy's recreation area, a human teacher was reading The Little Engine That Could to a group of wayfarer children. The story of the small train that succeeded through determination perfectly captured the human spirit that had saved their fleet. "Your stories teach hope," one wayfarer parent said to Miller. "Our children now say, 'I think I can' when facing challenges. It's changing how we think." The biggest surprise came when wayfarer scientists studied human history. They were amazed by how humans had progressed from simple tools to space travel in such a short time. "Your species adapts so quickly," Commander Brighthope told Miller during a tour of the Academy. "In just 100 Earth years, you went from ground vehicles to starships. It took our people 3 times as long." The commander's skin showed patterns of deep thought. "Perhaps we advanced too smoothly, too perfectly. We never learned to improvise like humans do." In the engineering lab, human and wayfarer students worked together on a new project, designing ships that could be repaired anywhere using any available materials. It was a perfect blend of advanced technology and practical thinking. "Look at this," Walker said to Miller, showing him the students' design. "They've included both quantum systems and mechanical backups. The new generation already thinks in terms of combining our strengths." The Academy also became a place for cultural exchange. Humans taught wayfarers about sports, cooking, and music. The aliens shared their art, their songs that used colors instead of sounds, and their stories of distant worlds. One evening, Miller found a group of human and wayfarer students stargazing from the Academy's roof. They were planning future explorations together, dreaming of what they could achieve as partners. "We were so focused on advancing our technology," a young wayfarer said, "that we forgot the joy of discovery. Humans reminded us of that." The Academy became more than just a school. It became a symbol of what different species could achieve together. Every day, new ideas emerged from the combination of human creativity and wayfarer technology. "We came to Earth thinking we needed rescue," Blue told Walker one day. "Instead, we found partners." Perhaps that was the real purpose of our journey. As the Academy grew, both species realized that this was just the beginning. The universe was vast, and together they could explore it in ways neither could have managed alone. The future, it seemed, would be written by both species, working side by side. 6 months after the wayfarers first appeared in Earth's solar system, their fleet was ready to continue its journey. But things were very different now. The ships had been transformed, just like the relationship between the two species. The farewell ceremony took place in Earth's orbit, with hundreds of ships from both species gathered in an impressive display. The newly repaired wayfarer vessels shone in the sunlight, their hulls now showing the unique blend of their original flowing design and human engineering. Captain Miller stood on the observation deck of the Hope, watching as the last group of ships completed their final checks. "It's hard to believe how much has changed," he said to Commander Brighthope. The commander's skin rippled with patterns that humans now recognized as deep emotion. "When we arrived here, we thought we were just seeking repairs. Instead, we found a new family among the stars." Not all the wayfarers were leaving. Hundreds had chosen to stay on Earth as teachers, ambassadors, and researchers. Similarly, many humans had volunteered to join the wayfarer fleet to continue working together and exploring the galaxy. Dr. Walker was doing one final inspection with Blue, who had decided to remain on Earth as the lead instructor at the Wayfarer Academy. They checked the new hybrid drive system they had created together. "Remember when you thought our technology was too simple?" Walker asked with a smile. Blue's skin flickered with amusement. "And remember when you thought our systems were too complicated? Now look what we've built together." The new drive system was being installed in ships of both species. It was more efficient than anything either civilization had used before, combining wayfarer quantum technology with human practical engineering. More importantly, it could be repaired anywhere using either advanced tools or basic materials. In the space around Earth, small groups of human and wayfarer children were being taken on tours in shuttlecraft. They had grown up together over the past months, learning each other's languages and customs. Many were crying now, sad to see their friends leave. "Don't worry," a young wayfarer told her human friend. "We'll come back to visit. Earth is part of our family now." Lieutenant Brown coordinated the departure sequence from her station. "All ships report ready, sir," she told Miller. "The first group can begin whenever they're ready." Before the departure, there was one final ceremony. Earth's governments had worked together to create a special gift, a new flag that combined human and wayfarer symbols. It would fly on all ships of both species, marking them as partners in space exploration. "This isn't goodbye," Miller said in his farewell speech, which was broadcast to all ships. "This is the beginning of a new chapter. Together, we've proven that the differences between species don't matter when we work together. The stars are vast, but friendship makes the universe smaller." Commander Bright Hope responded with equal warmth. "We came here as strangers in need of help. We leave as family, stronger because we learned from each other. Earth will always have a special place in our hearts." The departure began slowly, with ships leaving in small groups. Each wayfarer vessel was escorted by human ships in a gesture of friendship. The sight of their different designs flying together was beautiful, a perfect symbol of their new partnership. Back at the Wayfarer Academy, Blue and Walker watched the departure on a large screen. They were already working on plans for new classes, new technologies, and new adventures. "What do you think we'll discover next?" Walker asked. Blue's skin showed patterns of excitement, with humans and wayfarers working together. Anything is possible. As the last ships prepared to leave, Miller received a message from Earth's Space Command. New joint exploration missions were already being planned. Human ships would join the wayfarers in exploring distant stars, while wayfarer technology would help humans reach further into space than ever before. "Safe journey," Miller said as the final ships moved away. "Until we meet again among the stars." The universe, it seemed, had brought two very different peoples together for a reason. What started as a rescue had become something much more, the beginning of a partnership that would change both species forever. The stars beckoned, and now they would explore them together.